What impact do you think Lavar has had on Lonzo this season, Baron?
You know, I would say it's the same impact he's been having. You know, that's his dad. You know, and to me, the only thing about Lonzo is he has this crazy spotlight and this magnifying glass. When you watch him play as a rookie, he make rookie mistakes. He do great things, bad things, frustrating. But, you know, you see the promise, you see the potential.
But the mere fact that Magic Johnson will request a meeting with the father of the second pick in the draft, isn't that concerning to you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, one, he the father and he the CEO of, you know, the clothing, you know, the
Baller brand.
Yeah, the Baller brand. So, you know, Magic and Rob Pelinka have every right, you know what I mean, to approach him and to say that. And he got every right to, you know, tone it down. But at the same time, he got every right, you know, as a CEO of his brand to keep doing what he's doing to keep pushing the spotlight on his son and his brand. If you got a player like Lonzo, right, if I'm the coach, I'm going to give him the ball because, you know, I'm going to trust that he makes the best decisions. And when you got a point guard like that that's special, you know, like a lot of these young point guards are, you got to play the way they are most comfortable and the way they're going to be most successful, you know, because they're going to make everybody better. So Lonzo at UCLA, you know, when you watch them the year before, they struggled because they didn't get easy shots. As soon as he comes in, they get easy shots. We're about to win the national championship. I believed in Lavar, too. I thought we was going to win it. Just because of, you know, having that piece, it allowed people that freedom. So if you have a kid like that, a point guard like that, you know, you just kind of like got to give them the freedom and let them go, let them make mistakes because they're going to learn faster. But you got to throw this kid to the fire, right? This kid makes good decisions. He made, you know, Brandon Ingram hit the game-winning shot. Who made the play?
Right.
This guy is making plays, dude. So you can look at the percentage. You can look at free throws, field goal percentage, three-point, and Rondo started for the Boston Celtics, okay? And everybody said he couldn't shoot, and he turned out to be a great point guard. They said Tony Parker, when he came in, he couldn't shoot. They said I couldn't shoot. So, you know, the first year is going to be tough. It's always going to be tough on you because you're not strong. You can't get to your spots, and you're questioning the shots you take, and that's just a rookie. If I had a dad like Lavar, you know what I mean? It would have supercharged me to be able to go out and it probably would have put more pressure on me to go out to want to be greater than what I wanted to be.
So what do you think about what the father has done with the second two sons? Pulling them out of school, and now they're going to, we guess, Lithuanian to play pro basketball.
What I think he's doing is he's challenging the system, right? The system is flawed, period, point blank. Like, from the NCAA to high school basketball to AAU basketball, that system is flawed. And so, you know, let's get his dude some credit for saying, you know what? Like, I'm not going to let you dictate, this system dictate how my kids are going to turn pro. I'm going to do that. Feels like, you know, they're going to make the right decisions so they have the best team around them. And a lot of times you just, you know, you have to sift through people to find, you know, what your best team is.
Right. Baron Davis joining us. Kristaps Porzingis, you know, the world.
Love him.
I love him too. I said if I started a team today, LeBron Durant, I'm not sure he's not third. Baron, he's 7'3", handles.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch him, I don't know, man. Is he the third best foundation player in the league?
You got to put my boy
who?
Giannis.
He can't shoot a jumper.
Man, he is a force. Porzingis is something different, though. He reminds me of, you know, Dirk.
He's a little more aggressive than Dirk.
Yeah, but don't get Dirk twisted. You know what I mean? When Dirk came into the league, even though he was a finesse dude, there was nothing finesse or soft about him giving dudes 40 and 15 and 30 and, you know what I mean? So I think Porzingis is more athletic, right? He's a little bit more athletic and mobile than Dirk, but, you know, he reminds me of Dirk as far as like his fearlessness and, you know, and that is portrayed in how smooth he is in his game.
When you were in the league, it really does feel like it's changing. Like the international game
for sure
is better. Go back to your career. Did you always feel a little bit like initially they were a little soft, international guys, a tad soft.
I thought, more finesse.
That's a better word.
When I was young, as the international guys were coming over, they were skilled, but they had to deal with the physical, the aspect of the game. The ones who could became really good players.
Right.
But, I also played against Tony Parker and
He's
Manu
tough.
Ginobili. So they were kind of like really Dirk Nowitzki. They were the first wave of international dudes like, hold on, dude. Like, it ain't nothing soft about, like, I am an NBA player.
Right.
And I think now that you see the Porzingis, even the kid, the point guard for the Knicks, you see Giannis, you see a bunch of these international guys and Gobert, they're studs. They're studs because they already had the path. Somebody already broke that barrier.
That's right.
Ginobili, Tony Parker, Dirk Nowitzki,
by the way,
Steve Nash.
And Baron, the word got out. International dudes don't come here soft. Like they saw that the soft guys internationally failed.
Yeah, and they're also now, at a younger age, playing more international basketball. So these international guys are now playing against, the Team USA and the 15 and under nationals and, all the way to high school and college. So they're not afraid, they're used to that type of style of game. And now that the game is evolving into more of a European style game, it's more suited for, their skill set and the level of finesse the way the league is going.
So when Chris Paul and Harden got together, I've always had this sort of belief in the NBA that intelligence is underrated. That if you go look at the greatest players in league history, they're all smart. There's no exceptions. That the Magics, the Dr. J's, the Rick Barrys, go look at their careers post-basketball. Oh, they all do well. They get into business.
Yeah.
That we just think it's all about having game.
Yeah.
But intelligence gives you a better diet, staying out of trouble, being a better teammate, making a phone call to get a teammate like LeBron. That we don't understand that the guys that last in this league like D-Wade really get the macro of the league.
Yeah.
And so when Chris Paul and Harden got together, my takeaway was two smart dudes, it'll work.
Yep.
It's just going to work. Now, I know the fit's not great.
Right.
So it is working. Are you a little surprised?
No, because the system. It's the perfect system for a point guard, right? And now James Harden, who is a lead guard, you know what I mean, who's become a phenomenal point guard, he can actually come off the ball, you know what I mean? And so his frustration when you watch, even though, he's been runner-up in MVP voting for the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, and, had not Westbrook and Steph have those amazing years, he could have easily been the MVP for carrying a big load.
Right.
Now he gets to have 25% of that load taking off of his shoulders. You know what I mean? As far as ball handling responsibilities, he can go to the bench, right? He can come in off the bench, get warmed up playing the two guard, and now Chris Paul has. As he gets older and, he's not playing as many minutes, he gets to be super duper duper effective, right?
Right.
In that time, in that 25% that James Harden is not on the ball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that leads to Chris Paul getting in rhythm and getting off to a good start. It doesn't take him much to get started. You know what I mean? So now you got a 20-10 threat in Chris Paul, and then you got a 30-10 threat in James Harden.
In the perfect system.
Right. In the perfect system, neither one of them turn the ball over, and either Chris Paul has the ball off a pick and roll or James Harden. And everybody else is shooting.
Yeah, and it puts great duress on the other team.
Absolutely.
Because you have a world-class point guard on the court for 40 minutes. 48.
And when you look at it, James Harden is a left-hand player. Chris Paul is a right-hand player.
So then it's a difference.
Yeah, so now your defense becomes weak on both sides. So you can't prepare.
Good.
You can't prepare. Man. You can't prepare a defensive strategy to. It's like
you should be a GM.
I mean, hey man, you think? I think so too.
That's really. I've never heard that.
So too.
Why would you like to do that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. I love to put a team together. I think that you know, especially in the league in this day and age, it's more
pretty
like my approach would be like Billy Ball, you know, like taking a team and figuring out how do you take talent, make the talent work with, you know, young potential guys that you're developing.
All right, and finally, LeBron James.
Man.
Okay, we know he's good. How do you view him as a player? Would you want to play with him?
Absolutely.
He is
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No problems with him.
No problem.
Not with ego, little.
Man, it's like when you look at him, and you look how high he treats his teammates, you know what I mean? You look at, first of all, look at who he is compared to the most famous people in the world, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's like top 5 most famous people in the world.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
Now, he plays basketball, right? And he's the most popular person in basketball in the world, or probably in sports in the world.
Right.
Now he's in Cleveland, and he's shining all that light on his teammates, on his friends.
Well, Kyrie didn't feel that way.
Here's my take on the LeBron-Kyrie thing.
All right.
There comes a point, right, when when Simba has to become a king, right?
Right.
When Simba
So
has
Kyrie
to
is
turn into
Simba?
the Lion King.
No, that's a
you know
very-
what I mean?
Absolutely.
And in this movie, Mufasa don't die. You
That's
feel what I'm
right.
saying?